For me, going to Duncan of Jordanstone in 1968 was a dream come true. I wanted to go to art school for at least 3 or 4 years before that, but I didn't. I was quite young and I didn't have the qualifications, and it took me that time to get the necessary higher and O-levels that you needed in those days. The first 2 years were a mixture of drawing and painting and design, pottery, sculpture, ceramics. You could try a variety of things. It was a really good grounding, because you eventually knew what you wanted to specialise in. The tutors were amazing too. We had Jimmy Morrison, who would in fact sit and do his paintings in the class while we were doing our life drawing, and Mr. Duff, who took anatomy, very traditional in those days that we did anatomy, and Alistair Ross was in the sculpture department. And we went on in our third year to specialise, and we could take one subject along with our specialisation. I took sculpture. At the end of third year, I was very lucky to get a place at Hospital Field House, where for the whole summer we just painted. There were 3 students from each of the 4 Scottish art colleges, and all we needed to do was get up in the morning and paint. Everything else was taken care of, and that was bliss. At the end of 4th year, I obviously graduated with a diploma and went on to do the 1-year teacher training at the College of Education. And after that I did teach for a year. I was a visiting art teacher to 3 primary schools, while also living at Hospital Field House, being the cook for the students who came in the summer, as I had been. And in those days, students from Aberdeen also came at Easter for 2 weeks. And other than that, the whole time at Hospital Field was, I could paint when I wanted, when I wasn't teaching. And I built up a portfolio to apply to the British Council for a postgraduate year at an international university. And I was lucky to be awarded a postgraduate year at Belgrade University in Yugoslavia. Another story as to why I went there, so not enough time this time round. And at the end of my year at Belgrade University, I went overland to India, travelling through Iran and Afghanistan. So I eventually coming back to this country in '76. My career since then has been in a variety of posts, most of which have been in the arts, Spectral Arts Workshop in Newcastle upon Tyne, in an arts admin post, both the admin of the Arts Centre and of the gallery that they had. And from there I came to London to work with an organisation called Art Law, which gave free legal advice to artists. And as a consequence, I became interested in the legal side of what it is to be an artist, especially copyright, and worked for the Design and Artist Copyright Society from its inception in 1984 until I retired in 2019. At the same time as working in various arts admin posts, I also became involved in various artists' committees and art, such as the Northern Print Workshops Committee, of which I was a founder member. We held the first national conference of print workshops in 1978. at Spectral Arts Workshop in Newcastle, the Galleries Association of 20 art galleries in the Northern Arts region as it was at that time. And in London I became involved as a member of the UK Committee of the International Association of Artists, on which I served for 4 years. When I first came to London, I didn't have a studio except for a small room at home. So I took the opportunity to do some more printmaking, which I'd done a wee bit of at college, and I joined a couple of print workshops to do my work, and I exhibited with the Printmakers Council for a number of years. Then in '84 I was offered an Acme studio, and I've had an Acme studio. I'm now in my 3rd one since then. When I was able to return to painting, and I've exhibited and painted since that time, and I hope to do so for many more years to come. Thank you. Bye.